So let's start by creating a new project, and we will have this project named as Stopwatch. The language is going to be Swift, and we are going to build it for iPhone. Click next, and I'm going to save it on my desktop. So the first thing what we will do, I will take up the landscape left and landscape right, as I only want this application to be running in the portrait mode. So we will set up the interface. So I'll have this orientation set to portrait here, and the size is going to be iPhone 4-inch. So we need a navigation bar on the top. So I'll have the navigation bar. Let's set the title to Stopwatch. Then we need a label. Okay, this size will do. So let me say 0005.88 just to see that how it looks like. So I'll have it in the middle, and let's have the custom font Helvetica Neue, and I'm going to increase the font size to something like 72 will do. Okay, so then we need to have the two buttons. So I'm going to say that let's add one button over here, and let's add another button over here. Okay, let's change the background color of the view controller to something like group table view background color. And what I will do, I will change the navigation bar background as well to bar tint we need to change, so this both would look similar. And then for the label view controller, we can have the background to white color. So yeah, this gives us a bit of a differentiation. Okay, so for these buttons I will be using some images. So let me have my images over here. So I'll create a new group. I will create a new group, and let's call it button images. So you can download the images I have used from the resources section. So I'm going to drag and drop my buttons over here. So make sure once you're adding any resources to your project, so destination copy items if needed is always checked. Okay, so we have the buttons now. So let's see, this is for the lap, for the reset, for the start, and for the stop. So let's go back to our storyboard, and for the first button I'm going to say that it is of the custom type. I don't need the text, and the image I can use start. And then for the other button, again it is of custom type. I don't need the text. And the image I can use the lab. So let's align both the buttons, and then I'm going to select and put it here. Okay, so these are our two buttons. Then we need a table view for the labs. So we're gonna, because we need the table view within part of our view controller, so I'm gonna drag the table view over here. So let me resize it. Okay, so I'm happy with the size. Okay, so now what we need to do that we need to link our table view with our view controller. So I'm going to control click and drag to the view controller, and I'm going to say that this view controller is going to be the data source, and also this view controller will be its delegate. Now let's open up the Swift file and let's do some linking. So what I will need, let's call this label as stopwatch label. So I've created an IB outlet. Then I need an outlet for labs table view. Let's have the two outlets for start and lab button. So I'm going to call it, so the same button we will be using for start, stop. So that's the outlet, and then this button we will be using for lab reset. Okay, now for this button we also need an IB action, and we are going to call it start stop, and this is going to be an action. And then for this button we will need an IB action, and this is going to be lab reset IB action. Now we need to tell our view controller that it's going to conform to two protocols. One is UI table view delegate, and one is UI table view data source. So the moment we do it, so it's going to give us an error, and it says that type view controller does not conform to the protocol UI table view data source. So for that there are some compulsory methods which need to be there. So it's looking for those methods and not able to find, and that's why it's giving us the error. So the first method is table view self row at index path, and then another method is table view number of rows in section. There you go. So for the testing purpose for now, I would say that return 3. So there should be 3 rows, and for the cell, let's declare it. Variable cell is going to be UI table view cell, and the style is going to be UI table view cell style dot value 1. So value 1 is we will be having the text label on the left and the detailed text label on the right. So that's what we're looking for. And the reuse identifier, let's name it cell. Okay, so I'm gonna say that cell dot background color is going to be the same as of self dot view dot background color. Then we can say that cell dot text label dot text. I'm just going to say that let's have it lab cell dot detail text label dot text. That's going to be, let's have it something like 0000, and in the end we simply need to say that return cell. So with this, all of the errors should go away, and as you can see, yeah, it's fine now. So let's quickly test our application. So yeah, as you can see that in the table view, it has loaded the 3 rows, as we said that it return 3 number of rows in section. So it is changing this the background color of the cells where it is finding some data, but it is not changing over here, so it doesn't look good. So what we can do, by selecting the table view, and it should be having, I think we can do it from here. So if I say that the background is group table view background color, so it should do the trick. Let's test it. No, that's not the one. Okay, by selecting the table view again, and let's put it to default. And I think that's the one. So let's change it to this one. Yeah, this is working and our interface looks fine.